Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be discussing Renegades on physical media. Now this is a movie from 1989. It's really a mismatched buddy movie. Kiefer Sutherland is an undercover cop. Lou Diamond Phillips plays a Native American who is trying to track down the whereabouts of an ancient spear that has been stolen from an auction house. So the two of them come together through unexpected circumstances, and today I'd like to share with you why I own this piece of physical media. Now, my history with this film stems right back to 1989. I remember when this film first came out in cinemas in Australia. It had a limited release, and it just so happened it played at Hoyt's Cinemas. Now, the Hoyts that I used to go to was coming towards the end of its run, and they were going to redevelop the cinema in a different suburb. So what happened was this movie came out. It was one of the last films to play at my old Hoyt cinema in 1989. So this movie played just during the changeover. So it had a 1-week engagement at my old cinema, and when the new cinemas opened, I started going there, and the old cinema then became something else. Their lease was up, and it's for that reason that I missed it at the cinema. I didn't actually see this film on the big screen, and it turned out that really they should have had this film move over to the new cinema complex. It never did, and it kind of became a movie that just disappeared. And as the story goes, my first experience watching Renegades was what you would call a rep's copy, but it just so happened that a family member worked in a video store, and back in those days they used to have time-coded videotapes. They were a videotape that had a counter running along the bottom of it. It really was a bit of an eyesore to see that counter running on the film, but it was what you would call a rep's copy. And if you worked in a video store, you got the jump on a brand new movie. They wanted the employees to see the film before the general public, and they wanted them to be enthusiastic about the film. So when the customer came in, they would be able to recommend the film, and that would increase rental sales. So that was the purpose of a rep's copy. And it just so happened this family member supplied me with a rep's copy of Renegades, and I was so eager to check it out, and I did. And it wasn't a great print. I mean, rep's copies never are. It was a very standard 4x3 print. And I checked it out, and I thought, it was okay. But when it officially came out on new release video, I did rent it, and my experience the second time round did improve without that time counter running along the bottom. So that was really distracting. And one of the reasons I was eager to see this film is that I had a great appreciation for the works of Lou Diamond Phillips. I'd seen La Bamba. I thought he was wonderful in that film. And I'd also seen Young Guns. So I'd seen Lou and Kiefer in Young Guns, and I felt that they really had wonderful chemistry in that film, and I was eager to see them explore more chemistry in this film. Now, this isn't such a great movie. I mean, by no stretch of the imagination is this one of the great cop movies of all time, or one of the great buddy movies for that matter. But if you're a fan of the cast, I guess you could say this movie has special appeal. So that was one of the driving forces for me to check it out. And one of the little hidden facets of this film is that it also stars Jami Gertz. There's a little shot of her on the back here. And Jami Gertz was an actress that I really appreciated back then. She just starred in The Lost Boys, and this was another one of her early films. She doesn't do much these days, so having Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, and Jami Gertz in this film was enough for me to want to go and see it at the cinema. Now, Renegades wasn't a massive hit at the box office. I think it had a budget of 16 million and it wound up grossing 20 million in the United States. And I'm sure it did pretty tidy business on video. So this really, I suppose, at the end of the day was considered a minor success for all concerned. And the director of this film was Jack Shoulder. Now, Jack Shoulder isn't a director that everyone knows, but in the lead into this film, if we put it in context, he had a fantasy movie out a year or two before called The Hidden. And The Hidden kind of had tinges of The Terminator, and it was well received by the critics. So that gave him the leg up in Hollywood to direct a big studio film like Renegades. So I've owned this film on DVD since 2004. So I've had this for over 20 years now, and it's a widescreen print of the film. So I would have to say that watching this on DVD is definitely a step up from watching it on video all of those years. But if this film came out again on Blu-ray or 4K, would I upgrade? Maybe I would. I mean, I'm a big fan of Lou Diamond Phillips. So, yeah, I probably would upgrade, especially if there were some extras. On here, I think the only thing we get is a trailer, which is a little bit underwhelming, but it's a reasonable print of the film. And as far as late 80s cop films go, this is a lot of fun. It's not one of the best. It's not one of the worst. It's middle of the road. And if you like the actors, it's a bit of a blast. You'll have a good time with it. And when it comes to the Rotten Tomatoes meter, Renegades gets a 33% by the critics. I think the public rated it a 29, so a little bit less. Yes, so those ratings aren't exactly something to write home about, and as a result of that, they obviously didn't do a sequel. But when it comes to the IMDb rating, it does get a 5.5. So most people think this is middle of the road, and I do too. But if you like the cast, you may like it a little bit more. Now, I suppose you're wondering, why do I have this one in my physical media collection? Well, it's very simple. I really like Lou Diamond Phillips. I think Kiefer Sutherland is a pretty good actor, and I'm a big fan of Jamie Gertz. So that's reason enough to have this in there. Plus my little story that I shared. I do have some nostalgia for this one because I missed out on seeing it in the cinema. And I only wish I had have seen it, because I think if I had have seen it in the cinema and experienced it on the big screen, I could only imagine that I would have appreciated this film a little bit more. But for what it does, it's a serviceable action crime thriller, and these two are pretty good. It has a chase scene in it, it has some mystery with that ancient spear, and it will keep you watching. It's not fantastic, but it's a fairly agreeable potboiler. So with this trio of stars on display in a cop movie, and I enjoy cop movies, so it's a late 80s one and I have some nostalgia for it. That's why it sits in my collection. And if you're a fan of the stars, I would highly recommend it. So that just about does it. Renegades on physical media. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon.